How many of you in here have read The Lord of the Rings? Okay, how many of you have not read it but saw the movie? 7 out of 8 people could not follow those books or those films because they had to cut so much out of the film. See, so that's another example of you've got to make sure that you're spoon feeding, but you got to take them somewhere and make it believable, and they got to know who the I mean, to this day, still, I've read Lord of the Rings, and I question who Gimli is.
No,
so,
can I ask you a question? How many people have seen Inception more than once? Did you learn more the second time than the first time? You can just shout out. Yeah. I think that's one of those movies, and Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie of all time. I'll go ahead and admit that. I know exactly who Gimli is. And I saw the movies before I read the books. The movies actually made me want to go back and read the books, so I would do the opposite. And I think there are some movies that challenge the viewer if you want to learn more or understand more. You know, I feel like with Christopher Nolan and Inception, obviously he's on a different brainwave than most ordinary Americans. I think he's very intelligent. He knows what he's doing. I think it takes a smart person to craft something like that. So I think it's almost a challenge for the viewer to say, well, if you don't understand it, understand it. Go back and watch it again. Watch the special features. Learn what I was trying to do. Understand his previous movies to get to this. I mean, he uses the same cast. He uses a lot of the same ideas from the Batman movies and different movies. So I think a lot of times with certain filmmakers, Peter Jackson, I mean, there's other ones, that they challenge the viewer. And I think that as a critic, that's fun. I like to be challenged. A lot of times they might want to be spoon-fed, and that's fine, but I want that challenge. I want to be forced to pay attention. I want the movie to make me think and focus. Whereas if I can guess what's going to happen at the end, then I'm bored. And we fall asleep too, just like you guys do.
I'm going to agree with Dustin. I honestly don't think that a movie has to appeal to everybody. There's certain movies for certain people. One of my favorite quotes from Robert Altman is about how he made the first 20 minutes or so of every movie he made as hard to grasp as possible so he could scare away the people that weren't meant for his movies. That's great. Why does a filmmaker need to make a movie for every single person? It's an expression of art, and every piece of art doesn't need to speak to everybody in the world. Inception was a rare case where I think that was a very personal, very niche movie that was packaged and presented as a big summer blockbuster, and it was a huge hit. It made a lot of money. A lot of people went to see it, but it may not have been for every audience member who went and saw it.